Live for us in D.C. Steve.
Trace, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has again caused an international uproar with his anti-Israeli rhetoric. This happened at a UN conference on racism held in Geneva, Switzerland. The Iranian leader called Israel a cruel and oppressive racist regime, which prompted protesters in colorful costumes to pelt him with tomatoes. It also triggered a massive walkout by some 40 countries, including Great Britain and France. The U.S. was already boycotting the event, so we weren't there. We were anticipating just this kind of inflammatory rhetoric from the Iranian president. Ahmadinejad accused the West of helping create a racist Israel.
Following the World War II, they resorted to military aggressions to make an entire nation homeless under pretext of Jewish sufferings, and they sent migrants from Europe, the United States, and from other parts of the world in order to establish a totally racist government.
Now, of course, Ahmadinejad has said such things before. He's questioned the Holocaust and called for the destruction of Israel. The U.S. boycotted this meeting because the last one in 2001 in Durban, South Africa, resulted in the same kind of anti-Israeli rhetoric. President Obama said over the weekend the U.S. would like to participate in a useful conference, but cited objectionable language in the draft statement from this one, so he stayed away. There were also fears that criticism of Islam would not be allowed at the meeting. Canada, Germany, Italy, Israel, and several other countries also deciding not to attend. A State Department spokesman said, "We've heard this kind of rhetoric before," and said it needs to stop, and the ball is now in Iran's court. And we've said that before, and he's said what he says before, so we'll see what happens next. Back to you.
The controversial leader of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, is back at it again today. Dozens of delegates at the United Nations Conference on Racism walked out during Iran's tirade against Israel. The Iranian president calling Israel's government, quote, cruel and racist. The chief of the United Nations has condemned the speech. You may remember Ahmadinejad has called Israel a rotting corpse and has repeatedly claimed the Holocaust never happened. Our chief Fox Report correspondent Jonathan Hunt with all this from the newsroom. The United States boycotted today's conference. It wasn't just diplomats protesting Ahmadinejad today. I mean, lots of people walked out of that thing.
Yeah, absolutely, Shep. You know, this was a speech that was clearly designed to promote division among the world. In fact, it had the opposite effect of effectively uniting the world in condemnation of Ahmadinejad himself. First of all, there are a lot of protesters who got into the conference room there. You see them throwing some objects, we think they were rotten tomatoes, at the Iranian president, some of them wearing those multicolored wigs, also shouting out slogans such as shame, shame, and racist, racist at the president. Then you had something like 40 diplomats walk out on Mr. Ahmadinejad. The French and the British, for instance, the French saying there was no reason to stay there once he started his racist diatribe, Shep.
Separate subject now. Iran has sentenced this American journalist to